Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 521.
521.
Of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel. We're talking all about pretty much Walt Disney World today. We've got the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, as well as Space 220, as we're talking, has celebrated 3 years at Epcot, which is hard to believe because it feels like it's been there a lot longer to me. Head to MEI and Mouse Fan Travel if you're looking for autumn travel to Walt Disney World or Christmas travel to anywhere
in the world.
Anywhere in the world, including Walt Disney World, Disneyland, Disney Cruise Line, and Disneyland Paris.
So let's start off right away. We're going to be heading to Epcot, as you mentioned, for the International Food and Wine Festival.
Right. The Epcot International Food and Wine Festival will run through November 23rd. It feels like it's a little later this year. I might be wrong, but it feels,
I think it's only because Thanksgiving is later.
Yes, I think that's around the 28th. So this is what we're seeing at the front of Epcot. You've got Remy. And, you know, Remy, even back in 2000, I believe it was 2007, you had Remy as part of the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival after Ratatouille opened.
He's sort of been the official mascot for a while.
Yeah, so I think that's very cool. We're checking out a number of items, and first we're going to check out Coastal Eats.
What a start! The roasted warm water lobster tail.
And during the Flower and Garden Festival, I think it was grilled lobster tail, and you have other items here as well. But this is your favorite item is lobster, or one of your favorite items, and you've got the drawn butter as well.
Yeah, I talked to some friends yesterday that we met at Epcot, and they had tried this and agreed too. It's amazing, I especially like you have the grilled lemon. It really goes well with the lobster. You have the drawn butter. The lobster is just perfect. I shouldn't say unfortunately. Fortunately, I've had a lot of lobster lately, but this was right up there, and a very generous portion. I will be getting it again, absolutely.
And I just want to mention that we stayed at the Caribe Royale Hotel for one night. They gave us the room. They gave us a gift card to write an article for them about the festival.
10 items.
Yes, and I mean we ended up buying more items and also on our own gift card so we could talk about it here.
And our next item is the Steakhouse blended burger.
This was very juicy. I really enjoyed this. This is Flavors from Fire. It's a beef and mushroom slider with truffle, brie cheese, fondue, and we also had the Four Virtues Bourbon Barrel Zinfandel. And I have never had a Zinfandel that wasn't like a white Zinfandel.
All four virtues. All four were delicious. Yes. That was quite the nice pairing.
It has such a robust taste, and it really went well. So I would, if I'm getting this again, the slider, I would definitely get also the Zinfandel.
Honestly, you cannot go wrong with this. I think we could repeat that. We will repeat this, everything we've seen so far, the lobster and the slider and the wine.
Almost everything we ordered was very good and a decent portion. You know, not everything is necessarily a decent portion for money.
Right.
But we ended up choosing really well for the most part here.
I think you're right. We put a little time into choosing wisely, hopefully.
But you also go for, you know, what you like. Especially, although you didn't get the wings this time, not yet, and that's something you wanted.
And the only reason for that is I ran out of tummy room because I was full by the time it came to that.
We did this over 2 days, plus the pickle milkshake we did on a different day. So we actually had items on 3 different days.
So let's talk about that pickle milkshake. We'll see that in a moment. I have to say, for me, I really, just like last year, I really enjoyed it. But I felt it had more dill flavor this year. I don't know if you agree, but it was even a little more intense. But it was very, very, very good.
Refreshing, yes. And I wanted to mention also that yesterday we got stickers and buttons here that were themed to not only the pickle milkshake, but also to the Muppets.
Muppet Labs, yeah.
Ask them. I wrote an article on Mousesteps about it. Check that out and then ask if you're at the Food and Wine Festival.
But this is another item, and I think last year we had it maybe 3 times.
We really liked it.
I would have it again.
And I don't even like pickles. I like a little dill like on potatoes, but I don't really like pickles. But
so there was a little special bonus to Mariachi Cobre.
Yes, and so we don't usually stop to watch them as much. Like you hear them we'll hear them as we're walking around Epcot. I really, this is a great show. And
an opening day entertainment, the only
Yes.
opening day entertainment, I believe, that is still running.
But after coming here to watch and see Miguel, next time I want to stop and actually watch their set because they're fantastic. So Miguel is here either through October 15th or October 31st. I'm not sure which one right now because at least October 15th for Hispanic and Latin Heritage Month. So on the Disney Parks blog, it said the 15th. On the website, it says something different.
They are fantastic. I ended up seeing 2 sets.
Yes.
During this, I recorded it twice because I enjoyed it so much. And as you said, I would love to come back in with or without Miguel, just take in and enjoy a set of Mariachi Cobre. They're wonderful.
Mm-hmm. And I think having Miguel come there, it brings more guests to see them, which I think is fantastic. Now we are at the India booth. This has been my favorite booth running for several years. Mm-hmm. There's a potato and pea of samosa, vegetable samosa, and chicken tikka masala. That's what we had. Didn't have the mango lassi this time. My family, my extended family, is from India. I remember my first time having samosas. I love them. And this is really a nice portion size because you get 2. And we often will buy each a chicken tikka masala and then split that samosa.
It's a perfect meal. I mean, it is a full meal.
For us, it's pretty much a full meal, yes. So it made it hard to eat more sometimes. Actually, we did that on the first day also with the pickled milkshake.
And even with the very high heat and humidity sitting out there, it's actually quite refreshing.
Mm-hmm.
Like you would think a hot, spicy dish like this wouldn't be, but it is. It seems to somehow make me less hot when I have it. I don't know if that's even true, but it feels that way.
It's so good, and we order it often at Epcot during the festival. So now we are at Refreshment Outpost for the chocolate Amarula mousse with white chocolate, which is like a giant zebra dome.
Yeah,
it's
right
very
away
similar.
It looked just like a zebra dome. And zebra dome, in case anybody listening doesn't know, I'm sure everybody does know, it is a delicacy that one can get on the buffet at BOMA at Disney Animal Kingdom Lodge.
But you can also buy it at the counter location
Yes.
as well. So the zebra domes have been there since like the beginning of, I still remember Animal Kingdom Lodge. I believe it was there when I was first there, which was before it even opened. So the zebra dome, well, we're not calling it a zebra dome. We're going to call it not a zebra dome.
Whatever it is.
Yes. It's, light, airy. It's got that mousse and also a crispy coating.
In the video,
a crispy cookie on the bottom.
The video I just didn't give justice how big it is. It's actually very generous
It's surprisingly large.
But in the video, it looked like a regular zebra dome you'd get with dessert.
And here you had the warm raclette Swiss cheese with Alpine ham, baby potatoes, cornichons, and those little potatoes inside. Like, I do not eat raclette cheese. I don't eat most cheeses. I don't eat yellow cheese. But here I took video of them scraping. This is what it's like. Like in Europe, it's very popular.
Yeah, especially when we're in France. Yeah,
right. Especially during the winter months, they put so much cheese in here. You couldn't see hardly the potatoes or the cornichons.
And I don't think we mentioned this was at the Alps booth.
Mm-hmm. And so then they also gave a nicer portion of the bread than I thought. And we also ordered you the Stiegel Brewery Key Lime Hard Radler, which is, it may be like half key lime juice, half beer, but you really like that.
It's delicious, yes.
And the brewery has been there since, I wrote 1942, but that is not correct.
Where was the brewery again from?
I believe it's Austria.
That's right, it was Austria.
And it was 1492. It's like a really long time. It's over 500 years old. But the raclette cheese was very good.
And it also included those potatoes,
which were good.
They were very delicious.
Jeff took off the cheese so I could enjoy these really tender purple potatoes.
Now, during all this, you had taken a walk around World Showcase and ran into Captain Hook. There is the captain, the good captain. By the way, yesterday was Talk Like a Pirate Day. Perfect for Captain Hook.
I forgot about that. Yes, and they actually had a number of different characters out, including Captain Hook. And he was trying to tell me Tinkerbell, but I'm like a bird.
I
do not want to put the audio on.
Allow me.
I just thought it was.
He was even laughing. He was like, because I think he was frustrated because he kept
Gideon.
thinking.
You know what? It was.
He was flying his wing.
It was so hot that day.
It was hot.
That I I couldn't even think straight. So yeah, that you have Big Al was
Al
there.
in his old vest.
And I went to go see King Louis, who had nobody yet at that point.
Poor King Louis.
Well, he's at the back, so not everybody sees him yet. And of course, like they had just opened, like I'm walking past, and all of a sudden the characters start coming out.
So always fun to keep your eyes open. You never know what you're going to run into walking around World Showcase.
Yes.
So now we are at Flavors of America. A perfect pairing with America, hot dogs this year.
And they have 4 different styles of hot dogs. You can see there's a New York style, a Chicago style, Carolina style.
That's the one we tried.
Right. And then we're still looking down the Southwest style.
They all look good. I would eat them all. They all look just fine for me.
But I am somebody who just eats a hot dog with nothing on it, like zero on it.
You seem to like with the chili. You enjoyed the chili.
I like chili, but I kind of scraped it off and ate it separately. I don't really want it on my hot dog.
You like sauerkraut also. The only item.
No, I don't like sauerkraut. I like coleslaw.
That's what it is.
I like coleslaw.
That's right. Coleslaw is what it is,
but
not sauerkraut.
But a hot dog, I like plain, no nothing on it. Mm-hmm. So, except a bun. But everything that came with it was very tasty. And, this is something a little different for them. And, I think most guests would appreciate a decent hot dog.
It's a good fit for America.
Yeah. And it wasn't a bad portion size.
Now we are at Morocco.
And Morocco has, I just want to mention that they have that Florida Blue lounge that you can, I don't know if you've said anything about it.
I didn't mention it, but it is something we've taken full advantage of.
Yes, so you want to check that, keep going back. But we got the fried falafel pita, and I think this was my surprising least favorite item of everything we tried. I thought it was just okay.
And it's something we would
have
get on a regular
past.
basis because they kind of have that almost year round. Along with, so that you're looking at the bread being,
right.
Made there in the oven.
We've always liked the Morocco since they ended up having it as like a booth during the various festivals.
Oh, I should mention we are in that lounge right here for this little video clip, so you can see around this.
And you can book it on the My Disney Experience app.
You don't even have to be a Florida Blue subscriber.
Right, a member, no. So here is that fresh bread that they make, but for me, in this case, the falafel, it just didn't have that crispness that I'm used to having, and not as kind of a light and airy taste to it. So just okay for me on this one.
Let's go to France. That's always something you like to hear.
I do like France, and we ordered the beef bourguignon with potatoes, and also the frozen French Cosmo with Grey Goose and cranberry juice.
Which was a very good choice because, as we mentioned earlier, it was very hot and very humid, and that drink was just delightful.
And people, guests often order, these drinks here because they're so Instagram worthy, and also, they see somebody else having it, so they want one too. And it was very nice. Again, on this hot day, you wanted a place to sit, especially in the shade, and we were able to get that.
Great location there with a delicious drink, and the beef bourguignon. Better than ever. I like they have some kind of different potatoes.
The potatoes were totally different. They were much
an improvement, if you ask me. Better.
They were very light. Just a very different taste to them than I remember before. I actually prefer maybe more like either pasta or mashed potatoes, but these were very nice as well.
The beef was soft, perfectly cooked. You didn't need any kind of knife or anything. It just broke apart. It really was delicious. Speaking of beef, though, we are now going to the Canada Pavilion.
Well, the filet mignon here is a yearly item. So it has some mushrooms and mashed potatoes that Boris and garlic, like I'm not really into that. So I kind of moved it to the side. But overall, really tasty. And I think, the fact that you can just walk around Epcot and have filet and lobster tail, and it's not like you have to pay it like extra tax and a tip, and you can just get it. You don't have to sit for a meal. It was really good. It's always been good here. And I love mushrooms. I really like mushrooms.
I did have a taste of this, but this was mostly you because I think I was pretty full by the time we got here.
I mean, in 3 days, I forgot that we had the chicken tikka masala and such the first day. It's hard for us, even the two of us, to get through that many items without feeling full. Like, we get a few things and and we're done.
So after all that, we're going to take a look at the Caribe Royale. This is the room that we had mentioned earlier. We had a very nice room. It made it really easy to spend the day at Epcot. It was only about 9 minutes from the Epcot parking lot to the Caribe.
Right, 9 to 10 minutes. It was. I did not realize it was quite as close. And we live here, but it's not like we've ever said, okay, well, we're passing the Caribe Royale,
Right.
but how far is it to Epcot?
We sort of have to plan all our trips around rush hour.
Right.
In this case, there was no worries. When we're done, we just went back to the resort, relaxed. We went for a very nice swim. We'll take a look at the pool after. But this was a very generous, big-size suite here.
Right. It's a 1-bedroom suite, so you've got like a living area, and then we had the bedroom. And we didn't spend a ton of time here. We were at Epcot a fair bit, and plus they gave us dinner at the Venetian Chop House
which
as
was
well
very nice
for Magical Dining Month. But this is around 500 square feet. You've got a TV in each room, and the nice thing is, like, I usually get up a lot earlier than you do, so at
it's
like
perfect
5
where
a.m.
you
I'm
were
able to
to
go work in the other
work
room.
while I'm still asleep. We're taking a look out the window. This was when we first got there in the morning, so it looks like it was storming, but actually most of the time we were in there, it was beautiful sunlight.
And I mentioned they gave us one night in large part to talk about the Epcot International Food and Wine Festival, and then that gift card. And then I mentioned also we did some of our own money the first day as well.
We did very much enjoy, though. We had a nice swim after we came back the first day, and I love the waterfall. I spent a lot of time. This is the little grotto behind it. I like the sounds of the waterfall. It reminded me of the old Polynesian pool they had back in the 70s and 80s when I grew up going to Walt Disney World.
And I remember, that as well. And I know that it can get busy like during the summer months, but it is not the summer months right now. And so we were really fortunate, we were able to swim just a little bit. We had a little time for that. And it was really nice and relaxing. And really, I enjoyed that bit of time we had.
So in keeping with the whole Epcot theme, we also were invited out to Space 220 restaurant, which is celebrating today, as a matter of fact, its 3-year anniversary.
On the day that we're
recording this.
But
this
we're
is not going to be
posting
released.
tomorrow.
Yeah.
And they wanted to share with us that there were new menu items coming actually on October 14th. And we have a menu here with all the items.
And I hope your ears are okay here, because we are going very, very fast on the space elevator up to the space station where we're going to be having our lunch. And
we had actually a very nice lunch. We had it family style in this case. They brought us in as a group of around 20 people.
We had quite the group with our good friends.
It was great. Yes, Main Street Mouse, Fantasyland News, Lou Mangello, and that was our table.
What a table.
It was a great table.
Time. We had a great time. And it's always a treat to be inside Space 220. I love the atmosphere here. And when it becomes nighttime, you can actually see the shift with the sun going away from night or day to night.
And I just want to mention, we're all Becky's group too.
Yes,
really, I didn't even think about that.
We're all
at the time.
MEI sponsored.
Yeah,
what a good group there.
So they have a variety of different items. They have the that are coming October 14th. The Neptuna tartare.
Delicious.
That is a new recipe.
Lou and I finished that ourselves.
It is a new recipe. They also have the Grow Zone sprout salad with roasted Brussels sprouts, whipped ricotta, and pickled onion, orange. I ate a lot of that.
We're
I
looking
really
at
liked
the
it.
grouper. The grouper here had a delicious spice to it.
The Nebula grouper. Pan-seared spice grouper with roasted parsnip puree, Swiss chard, and walnut butter.
Now you're looking at the roasted chicken here.
The Mangala roasted chicken, Indian-inspired spiced marinated chicken, red pepper, carrot, tomato with coconut rice. The coconut rice was like, it was more like a rice pudding type consistency. I would get that one because I really enjoyed it. And I'm just going to mention there's 5 new desserts replacing 5 other desserts. There's going to be the lunar carrot cake, and I'm not reading it. I'm just reading it in order of what I was given. The Soul, which is a chocolate tart, coffee sponge, hazelnut crunch, coffee mousse, and then there's a cosmic cheesecake. That's the blue one that we cracked open.
That was delicious. They were all
chocolate
all
cheesecake,
delicious.
Chocolate crumbs. There's the Capella with a maple mousse, orange curl. Then there's a Bode swirl with a lemon chiffon and berry compote and a toasted marshmallow meringue. They make the most beautiful desserts, so if you like one of them, I just like they're like art. They look really beautiful and they taste really good as well.
And you can see we are on our way back to Earth, back to Epcot. We also had a few nice drinks, some of the new drinks from the bar as well.
I really enjoy. I think they do a nice job as well with the drinks. But the chicken, the Indian style chicken, that is what I would,
chicken.
right, like something like that. Although it wasn't exactly like tandoori that I know, so I think it's probably more inspired. But it really was, to me, delicious. So that would be like, if we went back, that would be what I would order.
And well, of course, we'll link your more detailed article. This was just a quick look.
Yeah, I haven't
But
written
you will
it
get that.
tomorrow.
We'll get
I'm planning to write it tomorrow.
So by the time this is posted,
Yes.
we'll have linked to your article. So we want to say thanks to our sponsor, MEI Travel and Mouse Fan Travel.
Head to their website and fill out a no obligation quote. And it doesn't even have to be Disney. You could be going to Universal Studios, Orlando. They do fam trips there. They learn all about the various aspects of Universal, but also they are cruise specialists, Royal Caribbean, probably MSC, Virgin, certainly Virgin Cruises. So they really are very well versed in so much travel. Becky is on the road like most of the year, learning about, I think she's just at Disneyland. They just did Adventures by Disney, the Disneyland, the Southern California Adventures
by Disney. It was more of a Walt history tour. It looked wonderful.
It looked amazing. It's something that I certainly would love to do sometime.
And it was really nice just to spend time with our other MEI groups.
And
the only one that was missing was Attractions Matt, usually from Attractions Magazine. They're also MEI. So it would have been fun to have the whole gang together again.
But it was really, it was.
It was close.
I didn't even think about it at the time, but we were all there together, so that was fun.
So next week we will have another show. We're going to talk all about, of course, more restaurants. I know you will enjoy that. We just celebrated your birthday, and along with that, we went to the Yak and Yeti once again. Some little bonuses. We found out something at the Yak that we're going to talk about, which is something
I forgot.
It's the ribs.
Oh yeah, like
a great bonus.
Okay.
But I don't want to. But you didn't hear that because we're going to talk about that on next week's show.
And we're going to talk about why we ordered them, and it was my idea.
Yeah, it was a brilliant idea, and it was delicious.
Yes.
And among other things. So we've been around. We've been to other parks. We're also going to talk about Legoland Halloween, one of the best drone shows I've ever seen.
The drone show was excellent.
So we'll talk about that next week and some other things. So thanks again for listening. Have a great week, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.